Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I post 4 videos a week at the moment, all beauty related, all to do with makeup basically, and if that's the type of videos you like, then stay tuned because I got a different type of video today. I got a video where I can actually sit down instead of putting makeup on my face. I'm actually going to talk about some makeup. So I'm actually going to tell you my 3 top foundations, all from the drugstore, all affordable, all the pros, all the cons, and hopefully you like this video. So if you do, stay tuned. So I'm going to go in order 3, 2, 1, and my third favourite foundation from the drugstore. Bearing in mind I haven't tested a lot out because I have a top 1, and this top foundation I love it for years. That meant I didn't try any other foundations out. So my top 3 is from a small kind of amount. However, I have tested a few, just not as many as maybe some of the big YouTubers. And number 3 is the Conceal and Define by Makeup Revolution. So this comes in 60 shades and they have loads of undertones. So they have neutral, warm, olive, and I think it's like a pink undertone or something like that. And I absolutely adore all the undertones. At the moment I'm wearing F8. It's a little bit too dark because I'm not as tanned, but this is the best tan shade to how tan I am at the moment. And the whole reason I adore this foundation is because it's near enough full coverage. And I have dry skin, combination dry skin, oily as well. I have all different types in different areas, and this foundation, as long as my skin is really hydrated, goes on amazing. Like, it just glides in, it doesn't oxidize, it just literally, it feels like my skin but better. I just can't believe how many shades they have. The only problem with that is that it can get overwhelming finding your shade, but once you find your shade, this foundation I think is £10, so it's a really good drugstore affordable foundation. It dries down matte, which is nice, so some people might not use a powder, but I still feel like I need a powder with it. You can build the coverage as well, so it's not like, it's not 100% full coverage. Like, you can build the coverage up. It can still show parts of your skin through, which I don't mind. Like, I don't need like a full coverage foundation. But if you're not like me, who's got loads of skin issues, then this foundation will probably be full coverage for you. But if you've got a few blemishes and stuff like that, then this is probably going to be a medium coverage foundation. You get quite a lot in here. You get 23 mils. I think an average foundation is 30 mils, but I've not got through one of these foundations, and because it is a doe foot applicator, you literally only need the tiniest amount around your face. You don't need too much. If you put too much on, you can just use a beauty blender and just blend it out and let that soak up the excess. A con to this foundation would probably be that it doesn't last as long as my top 2 favourite foundations. That's probably why it's third, is because it just doesn't last long on my skin. It does get oily quite quickly, but it's easily touchable. Like, you can use your beauty, I like to get my beauty blender, pat down where I'm oily, then put maybe a little bit of concealer, blend that out, and then put some powder over, and you're good to go. But it does make your skin look flawless, and it's an amazing foundation, and that is why it's my 3rd top favourite foundation. Number 2 is a newbie to me. So I've only been using this for maybe a month to 6 weeks, and I can't stop using it. Now that I'm tanned, I can't use it because I don't have a dark enough shade, but when I wasn't tanned, I was very impressed with this. This is a £5 foundation from MUA Cosmetics, and it's their Pro Base Longwear Finish foundation for £5, and you get 30 mils in here. You actually get the full 30 mils in here, and when you open it up, it's actually got a spatula, and it's a very thick foundation. So you literally need the smallest amount and you're good to go. And this foundation lasts on my skin the best. Out of all the foundations that I'm going to talk about, this lasts on my skin the best. It doesn't crease, it doesn't go cakey. You can easily blot it down when you go shiny, but it actually lasts longer than my top foundation with longevity. It actually doesn't go as like oily as quickly as my other foundation, and then it's again easily touchable. But it's number 2 because it's a newbie, and it's not my number 1 because my number 1 I've been using for years, and if you've watched my channel you probably know what my number 1 is. It is my number 2 just because the shade range as well is not as great as some other foundation lines, but it is an amazing shade range. Let me just check how many shades they have in their range. So the MUA foundation has 21 foundations in the shade range. As great of a foundation it is, it's not got the best line, and it could have some more shades in there, and I feel like 21 shades is probably not a lot, but it is a great start. It's a great foundation, and I feel like with how many people love this little foundation, they'll probably be expanding their colour range very soon. I have the shade 130 when I'm pale. I actually bought 110 as well because I was not sure, but 130 for my pale self is the best like shade for me. And if you've got like a similar yellow undertone, then this will work perfectly when you're pale. And I actually love the range. Like, I love their Pro Base mattifying primers, and I've got 2 of them. I love the Pro Base cooling setting spray. I love that. It's so cooling and it smells like cucumbers. I absolutely adore it. Then they've got the powder. I love the powder, and I've heard some people don't, but I absolutely love using that powder. It's a good setting powder, and it is, I've been using my L'Oreal True Match for years, and it's just as good as my L'Oreal True Match. And I think the combination of all of that, the primer, the foundation, even the concealer, I absolutely adore the concealer, and it's £2.50. And the powder, it makes a wonderful base. Like, if I probably had my tan shade in it, I'd probably be wearing that right now. And it's £5. I can't believe it's £5. So if you want an affordable foundation that lasts on your skin, it is matte, so you do have to hydrate your skin, but like I say, I have dry areas, and this does not cling to any of the dry areas on my skin. I would highly recommend it. And just for those of you that are probably gonna wonder, the Conceal and Define is cruelty free and vegan, and the Pro Base just says cruelty free, so I don't know if it's vegan. It doesn't have vegan anywhere, but yeah, so for anyone that's probably gonna wonder about that, it is cruelty free, which I feel like MUA has been cruelty free for quite a long time. I think quite a lot of brands are now cruelty free. There's just some that are lagging at the moment. So yeah, that is my second top foundation. I don't think you guys need to guess what my top foundation is. If you've been watching me, you'll know it is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Foundation. This is amazing, and recently they just reformulated it, which I was going to be sad about and think, oh, reformulate a foundation, it's not going to look that great. But no, they reformulated it so that with each use your skin gets the benefits of the foundation and improves your skin. And I was thinking, oh, that's probably bull. It actually is true. With every use, my skin, when I cleared up washed my skin at the end of the day, cleansed it, it was just looking a little bit better than it did in the morning. And so I feel like that assumption is true. There is so many shades of this and so many undertones, and I feel like this was one of the first foundations in my eyes that catered to loads of different skin tones, and it's £9.99. I probably have like 5 different ones of these in my drawer. Have like a tan shade, one when I'm getting pale and one when I'm really pale, and in different undertones, because sometimes I weren't sure what undertone I am, and depending on how pale I am, my undertone changes a little bit. But this foundation I've been using since maybe I was maybe 18, like 7 years or something like that. And the foundation that this overtook was my Bourjois Healthy Mix foundation. I used to use that back in the day, but as soon as I found my L'Oreal one, absolutely adore it. And my tan shade is 3W and I can't find it anywhere. I think I gave it to my mum to use when she went out once and she never gave it back. But yeah, this is my top foundation. It is not full coverage. It is buildable, but it's not full coverage, but it is your skin but better. And that's what I kind of like. Sometimes you don't want to put on like a full face of makeup, and this is like just a step up from a BB cream, and I love this foundation. I always get compliments when I use this foundation, and I don't think anything's going to overtake it. Maybe the MUA one day, but that's full coverage and I'm not always a full coverage girl. But I love the fact that this works amazingly, and I've always loved the powder as well. It has always been my top powder because it just adds a little bit more colour to your skin, a little bit more dimension. So if you don't want to bronze up, you don't have to. And I just love the L'Oreal True Match range, and I love L'Oreal overall. The L'Oreal foundation has 30 mils in it, and the only problem is I can't see if it's cruelty free or vegan, which is a shame because I've loved this foundation for years. I've never actually thought to check that. I'm hoping they are. I'm just hoping it's just not, but then if it's not on the packaging, they're probably not. So I'm a bit sad about that, but it is a great foundation. And the foundation that's on my skin today is the Conceal and Define, like I said, just because I am tanned and it's the only one in my tan shade. But I do love all three of these foundations, and they're probably going to be my top foundations for years. Like, I don't really test higher end drugstore, higher end foundations just because they're expensive and I can never find the right colour foundation. So sometimes, if say with like the MUA, if I wasn't sure, I bought two. The Conceal and Define, I wait for 3 for 2 off for like the L'Oreal and buy a couple shades, and maybe you can mix them and find your perfect undertone. But with a higher end one, I'd rather just go in the shop and probably get matched like I did with my MAC. But even then I got matched wrong, so that's why I tend to stay away from higher end stuff, and I love drugstore stuff, and that's what you see on my channel mostly is drugstore. If I bought something higher end, it's always been on sale. Those are my top 3 foundations. I hope you found this video helpful. If there's anything I've missed, please leave a comment down below and I will be sure to answer it. I'll answer every comment. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Please smash a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.